So welcome to February's well-being event. We're going to talk about finding balance. So grab an essential oil, any essential oil, and just put it in your palms and go ahead and smell it. And I'm glad you're all here because those of you who are here, I suspect you have balance. It's everybody else who doesn't give themselves the time to do something that they want to do. We're going to dive into that. So anyway, my name is Allie Phillips, and the information I'm going to talk about is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Although I think those who do not have balance in their life are working towards disease, but we're not going to go down that road. We're going to work proactively and preventatively. So just a little bit about me and really why this is one of my favorite topics, because I have to practice what I preach. So I'm multi-careered. I have 3 businesses. I've been an attorney for 27 years. I am a former prosecutor. I still teach. I've spent the last almost 20 years teaching law enforcement, criminal justice professionals, traveling all over the world with my expertise in family violence, animal protection, trial advocacy skills. I've written a lot of books, a lot of legal books. I have my wellness business, which is Manifested Harmony, where I teach. I have 7 different energy healing certifications. I teach energy healing classes and certify people. I'm an advanced crystal master, and I teach those classes. I've written the oily crystal and the oily pet. Those are kind of my oil specialties. And Young Living is within my Manifested Harmony business. And I am also the founder and the CEO of a nonprofit called Sheltering Animals and Families Together, where I help domestic violence shelters create on-site pet housing. And I have shelters in 5 different countries and 46 states, about 300 shelters worldwide. And more often than not, now, I have balance. Not always, but more often than not, because I have literally put into practice a lot of what I've learned and a lot of what I talk about. So I hope this is helpful. If you have questions, put them in the chat. So this is the second installation within the year of well-being. So we're talking about finding balance. And next month, if you join in, it's all about loving your body. Okay, we're talking physical wellness next month. So, all right. How many of you are this in the morning where beep, beep, the alarm goes off and you're like, oh, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to face the day. So we're talking about finding balance, but you know, the real question is, can we really have balance in our lives? Because our lives are multifaceted. You know, can we have balance between work and family and hobbies and juggling finances and side businesses and spiritual practices and time for you? I mean, is that even possible? In the chat, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would like your vote on this. 1 on the scale means you're barely hanging on. You're dropping balls everywhere. You're forgetting things. You're super stressed. You feel like you're doing everything poorly. You're not getting all the stuff done. The to-do list is growing, and you're just literally being smothered by all aspects of your life. That's a 1. Go to the opposite end of the scale of 10, you're balanced. You're spinning all the plates. You may not be balanced every day, but overall you're thriving and you're stress-free. And you feel like I've got a system. I got a system. And I'm loving life. Okay, let's see what the chat is. We've got a 3. We've got a 6. Put your number in the chat. I want to see where everybody's at. An 8. Wow, that's awesome. 3, a 5, 7, a 5. Yeah. Everybody's all over the scale, kind of hovering middle, in the middle. So yeah, that's pretty normal. It can be better. It can be better and not stressful in the process. Now, what's interesting is, I work with a lot of spiritual teachers. I listen to a lot of spiritual teachers. I work with a lot of business coaches and life coaches and learn from them. And a lot of them say that you can never find balance. And they say, just focus on what's important in that moment, and those areas of focus will change constantly. To an extent, I agree with that. There are seasons where family is important. Maybe there's an illness, maybe there's just something big going on. It could be a wedding, a graduation. And then there's other seasons where business is important. It could be your busy season. There could be another season where you have a health crisis, and that takes priority over everything. So everybody in your household, they're on kitchen duty. Make your own dinner, clean the house. So I do agree to an extent with that. However, I have learned through my own busy career. I mean, it is standard for me to work about 70 hours a week. How do I balance it? And what I've really learned, that if you want balance in your life, you have to be intentional about it. You literally have to decide, I'm going to have balance. I'm not going to let outside influences rule my life. And I always envision life like a tire. And all the parts, all the spinning plates that we have going on are like the spokes on the tire. And if one spoke is broken or not working, part of that tire is going to be damaged. And so it's going to be wobbly. So how can you have equal inflation in the tire? And that's what I'm going to talk about. So first, I want to talk about how lack of boundaries creates lack of balance, and both of those together create stress. We've gotten to a point as adults where stress is normal. We have normalized it. I know many people who actually glamorize it and talk constantly about how busy they are. We need to remove the B word from our vocabulary, because it's just a thought. That's just a thought, okay? Don't put that thought in your brain. But boundaries are an important part of finding balance, because if you're saying yes to everything, or on the flip side, if you're saying no to everything, you don't have balance in your life. And if you don't have balance, you're going to feel stress. Stress is one of the most dangerous toxins in our world. It is as bad as secondhand smoke in what it does to the physical body. Stress can absolutely kill. It can kill. We can't normalize it anymore. We can't glamorize it. We can't just say, oh, it is what it is. Nope. It's time to start punching back. It's time to start taking our lives back. And, when we go through life with a massive to-do list, and we're pushing and we're going and we're hustling, remove the H word from your vocabulary while we're at it. Don't ever do that. Hustle is a social ballroom dance. It's not a way of life, and it's not a way of business. But if we're just constantly go, 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 here's the thing, you're never going to get it all done. So you're always going to be constantly stressed. And when we're stressed, we go into fight, flight, or freeze mode. And that's instinctual. It's not that we choose fight, flight, or freeze. It is biological, how we're wired. And we're all wired to one of those. And if you're wired to fight, you will just go, 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 and you will overwork, and you will literally work yourself into a hospital bed. People who are wired for flight will do everything else but what really needs to get done, because finding balance means we still have responsibilities. It's just we don't have to let them own us. And so the flight is, I don't want to look at this project that I said I was going to create, so I'm going to keep myself busy over here organizing my office. I'm going to relabel my crystals. I'm going to alphabetize my essential oils. You know, I'm going to clean the house. I'm going to get myself ready. No, that's flight. And we justify it as being busy. And then freeze. These are the people who just procrastinate on everything. They just literally can't launch. They'll find themselves just mindlessly scrolling through social media. They binge watch on Netflix. Like, they know they have dreams, they have things to do, and it's just not happening. Those fight, flight, or freeze responses happen when we're stressed. When we're not stressed, we don't do that. We don't do that. Now, we will also experience more fear, more anxiety, which is a response to fear, more depression, which is a response to anxiety, because stress actually alters brain connectivity and it changes our behavior. So we gain weight because we have higher cortisol rates from fight, flight, or freeze that goes through our adrenals. And so we gain weight because of these higher cortisol levels. And then that results in higher insulin levels and low blood sugar, which then prompts cravings of all the food that we shouldn't crave. And then our immune system gets compromised, and then we don't sleep very well. So I actually had one of these stress responses. It was a week ago. I was in Tucson at the International Gem Show, and I had to fly home a day early because of a bad winter storm. I was not ready. I inhaled a bag of organic cheese popcorn. It's like, okay, now I'm ready to go. That was a total stress response. I justified it that it was organic, okay? Like, I'm not an animal. But that was a total stress response. And I got it done. I got 250 pounds of crystals packed and mailed and got myself to the airport in less than 6 hours. But that's what we do. That's what we do. And, you know, one study found that 67% of stress is actually related to finances. This is why I love helping people with their own businesses, because even if you can just bring in an extra $200 a month, sometimes that takes the edge off. So, you know, what is your natural response when you're stressed? I mean, think about that. Do you fight? Do you flight? Or do you freeze? So I want to have you, you can write this down, or you can just remember in your beautiful brain. I want you to answer these questions on the screen. Okay. How many are yeses? So let's start with, oh, wrong one. Sorry. Oh, where'd it go? There we go. Sorry. I don't like to socialize with people, especially when I have to. Is that a yes or a no? Number 2, I absolutely dread going back to work after the weekend. Number 3, I dread having to listen to other people's problems. I have no sympathy for them. Number 4, I don't like to engage in conversation. I like to keep it short and simple. Number 5, healthy activities like exercise and eating well aren't a priority. Number 6, I feel exhausted and or have low energy most of the time. Number 7, my to-do list keeps growing and growing. Number 8, my life feels very claustrophobic. Number 9, I don't have that much fun anymore. And number 10, I can't push myself to do what I know what will make me feel better, and I feel stuck. In the chat, how many were yeses? While that's coming in, I will tell you, back in the day when I was in the Washington, D.C. area, full-time attorney work, I was usually a 9. I loved my work. I loved it, but it was killing me. It was physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually killing me, but I loved it. So you may love something, but it is slowly killing you. Okay. Yeah. All right. So the more you answer yes, the more stressed you are. And I always ask people, is life really meant to be nonstop stress, nonstop demands, nonstop pressure, nonstop societal expectations, nonstop misery? Is that really what life is? Because I say no. I say no. That is not why we are here. It is not meant to be that way. So let's flip it over and let's take a boundaries test. All right. And again, how many are yeses? Number 1, do you feel like people in your life take and give nothing in return? Number 2, do you feel unappreciated by those closest to you? Number 3, is your life too much of an open book, or are you too closed off to where no one really knows you? Number 4, are your relationships filled with drama and difficulty? Number 5, are you concerned about what other people think? Number 6, in most decisions you need to make, do you consult other people? Number 7, will you do something you don't want to do so that you don't let someone else down? Number 8, do you say yes to too many things? Number 9, do you feel responsible for other people's happiness? Number 10, does your energy physically, emotionally, and mentally feel drained most of the time? All right, in the chat, how many yeses? So while those come in, when you have healthy boundaries, you will not feel drained by the people around you. You will not feel drained by life in general. You will not feel drained by your work. You will feel respected. You will feel appreciated. You will feel joy in your relationships. You will feel empowered to pursue your dreams, your goals, your hobbies. You'll be able to make decisions for your best interest. You will have a healthy respect for living your own life, and you will have a healthy respect and relationship with the word no. Because when you physically have the energy to set boundaries, you will feel more equipped to identify the unhealthy ones and take action to repair them. So, was this enlightening? Because I think this is such a slow thing that happens in adulthood that we don't realize we've given up our boundaries and therefore we have no balance. And then we wonder why we're stressed. Because boundaries, lack of boundaries plus imbalance equals stress. That's what the equation is. So coming back to the question, is balance even possible? So, I mean, it's impossible to completely balance our lives every day unless we truly have a blank slate every day. We're independently wealthy and we don't have to do anything about it. We just truly have a blank slate. That is not a vast majority of people. So for the vast majority, It's not going to be possible to completely every aspect balance your life every day. But you can identify a couple of areas that deserve your attention, and then you get to the rest later. But getting to the rest later doesn't mean you completely ignore them. Just like you wouldn't completely ignore like a potted plant in your home. No, every now and then you got to water it. So it's not about completely ignoring something. You got to slow drip into everything, but other areas may require a little more attention. This is going to shift daily and weekly and monthly, but it is with intention. It is not letting life bat you around like a pinball in a pinball machine. Don't be the pinball, you be the flapper that's going bing, bing, bing. You need to be the flapper. And by figuring out what you need to focus your attention on, is you got to get really clear on what is most important. When you don't like your work, or your work environment, or your coworkers, or your boss, or the entire thing that you do at work, when you literally don't like it or even detest it, you're not balanced. You're not going to get balanced. And it needs to be seriously addressed, since you spend about half of your waking hours in that work. So that means half of your waking hours are being chosen to be imbalanced. You notice I'm using the word chosen because we choose everything. We may feel like things have been done to us, but we really choose. That's empowering, because then that means, oh, I can change this. I can change it. Okay, we are not powerless. And when you have a chronic negative attitude about something, you're not balanced, and it's something that needs to change. So if there is something that you're like, it just puts me in a bad mood, I just get really super negative, I go down the rabbit hole. Okay, you need to look at that. You need to seriously look at that and change it. And if you can't change it, it may need to be eliminated. When you're surrounded by toxic, negative people, that's something that has to be changed. That is absolutely within your power. And then I hear, oh, but Allie, it's my family. Well, but do you have to see them as often as you do? I'm not saying ditch your family. Believe me, family, I use in quotes, has a very special meaning to a lot of people. It doesn't mean you ditch them. It just means you may not give them as much as your time. Because when you're physically exhausted, because when you're not balanced and you don't have boundaries and you're stressed, physically, you're going to feel exhausted. When you're physically exhausted all the time, you're not balanced. And it's probably adrenal fatigue, because that is a real thing. I had one of my doctors say to me that 95% of women are in adrenal fatigue and 1/3 are in adrenal failure. I know this because I was in adrenal failure, stage 4, but I pulled myself out. When you're emotionally exhausted, you're not balanced. This is when you don't have tolerance for other people. You don't want to hear the complaints. You can't empathize because you're like, I literally have nothing in my bank account for you. I am an empty shell right now. That's when you snap, you shut down, you're not yourself. Something's got to change. When you're mentally exhausted, you're not balanced. This is when you can't focus, no matter how hard you try, no matter how hard you want to achieve something, you don't have it in you. It's not up here. You don't have it in you. And when you're spiritually exhausted, you're not balanced. That's when you become cynical and, you're full of fear. You don't have faith. You have fear. You don't believe that things are going to be okay anymore. It's catastrophe after catastrophe. It's talking about things in the negative all the time, that everyone and everything is a problem. And when your boundaries are unhealthy, like this, what you see on the screen, you're going to topple from one side to the next. And with the tire analogy, your tire is mostly flat and wobbly, so you're not going to get very far. So, for example, if you say yes to everything out of obligation because you're a nice person and you say yes to everything and everybody relies on you and you're dependable, or if you spend too much time with people who drain your energy, you won't have the time or energy for other parts of your life that are important to you. So when your boundaries are healthy and you put your energy on what really matters, you can then start to see that balance is doable. Because you figure out, this is important to me. All this other stuff that I said yes to, not important. If I have time and if I have energy, I'm happy to give it in this direction. But if I don't, that's optional. This is critical, the stuff right in front of me. And then you can look ahead and not feel smothered by what is around you. And your to-do list doesn't feel like a lead blanket. So let's start with some techniques. So all year, we're going to be working our way up the chakras. This is a perfect example of root chakra imbalance. Because when we can get our root chakra in balance, it reduces anxiety and depression and fear. We feel safe. This is where our survival instincts, our tribe, our people, our foundation, it's the root of who we are. It is at the base of your tailbone. And, and I often get the question, well, how do you know if your root chakra is out of balance? Well, I'm going to read some symptoms to you, and that's a good idea. Or you can use a pendulum to test. So the root chakra physically governs your adrenals. This is your fight, flight, or freeze gland. It governs your adrenals, your legs, your feet, and your bones. So all the things that get you moving. So if your root chakra is not balanced, you're not going to move. If it is excessively producing, because chakras can be out, they can either be out of balance or in balance. If they are out of balance, they can be excessively producing or depleted. If your root chakra is excessively producing, it is on fire, it's go, 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 you may find that you overeat, you feel sluggish, you feel greedy and hoarding, like you don't feel that there's enough, like, you're running to the grocery store and you're grabbing all the toilet paper. You fear change. You're anxious. These are all signs of an overactive root chakra. And when it's overactive, at some point, the pendulum is going to swing and it's going to crash and it's going to go depleted. And so when it's depleted, you have no boundaries. Yeah, you just say yes to everything because you literally do not have the strength to say no and to deal with any conversation surrounding why you said no. Can anybody relate to this? Where you just say, I'll just do it. I don't want to even have a fight. I don't even want to have a conversation about it. I'll just do it. That is a depleted root chakra. Depleted root chakra also comes in as low stamina, feeling and being disorganized, having poor focus, being afraid, having financial difficulties, being depressed. But when your root chakra is balanced, you're in good health, you have vitality, you're prosperous, you're secure, you're stable because you have good boundaries. You have good boundaries, like you're in control of your life. You're in control of your life. And so balance comes from a connection, really, in connecting your root chakra to the earth, as well as connecting it to your heart. So some things that you can do is, walk barefoot on the ground. Okay, well, right now here in Michigan in February, that's not going to happen. I'm not putting my bare feet on the ground with a foot of snow. So I'm going to talk to you later about some oils and crystals you can use. But anything that you can do in nature, hug a tree, go outside, even if it is 0 degrees, go outside, even if you have to go to like an arboretum, like an indoor greenhouse, things like that. Just be in nature. That creates an exchange with your body that is very grounding. Saying affirmations daily like, I am safe, I am secure, I am in control of my life. Affirmations like that work on the subconscious brain and are very powerful. But it's really important to change or eliminate things that are negative in your life or that chronically stress you out, okay? And then another thing that you can do is just literally envision your energy in your body traveling from the top of your head, going down your spinal column through your body, out through the bottom of your feet, and rooting into the core of the earth. That visualization can actually be a meditation. And it's very soothing because when we're grounded to the earth, we're calm. Anxiety cannot survive when you're calm. Okay. You can also eat root vegetables, which are popular this time of year, carrots and parsnips and sweet potatoes, things like that, potatoes. Oils that are really good are tree oils, because trees are very grounding. Their roots go very deep in the ground. So look at, cedar wood, frankincense, pine, black spruce, blue spruce, all the tree oils, and get those oils on the bottom of your feet. And then do that visualization that you're literally growing roots out the bottom of your feet down into the earth. It's very soothing. And then crystals that are very beneficial are the crystals that are black, brown, or silver. Okay, those are grounding crystals, like black tourmaline, hematite, smoky quartz. I'm going to give you some more in a little bit, but these are things that you can do to balance your root chakra, because this has a direct relation to the boundaries that you set in your life, the balance that you have, and your stress levels. All right, so let's go into some additional lifestyle recommendations. Let's talk boundaries first. So it is important that you have a healthy relationship with the word no. Now, a 3-year-old toddler just says no all the time. That's not a healthy relationship. I have moments where I am a toddler and I look at my to-do list, I look at my calendar, and it's like, I'm just going to be a toddler. I have to say no to everything. It's just no, 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 not right now. And I'm in that month. I'm in that month right now. I've had to say no to a lot of stuff. It's a very, very busy month for me. It's a good month, but it's busy. I know not to take on anything more. I'm pushing stuff now to April and May. And, learning to say no comes in a variety of ways. One of the biggest no that I would recommend that you say is to this. And the notifications that go ding, beep, all day long. Turn off those notifications, turn off the sound on your phone so that you can focus, so that you can be more efficient, because lack of efficiency is why many people feel so frazzled and anxious, because it takes them so long to complete something because their phone is disrupting them, their computer is disrupting them. Don't work with social media running in the background. Like really laser focusing is a good boundary. You're going to work so much faster. You're going to work so much faster. And I can attest to that because this presentation was put together in record time because I shut everything down and I shut everything out. Boom, done, super efficient. And I even got done 4 hours earlier than I thought. And I'm like, I have all this time on my hand. And then the little voice in my head said, no, Allie, you have a 3-day expo to get ready for. But I didn't feel panicked. It's like, I've got this extra time. I can now really start thinking and taking my time. So saying no to your phone is important. Saying no to people who throw you off balance, or things, situations that throw you off balance and violate your boundaries. Saying no to what's not important, but you got to know what's important first before you can say no to what's not important. Is it important that you make another batch of cookies to send to school? Is it important that you attend another meeting for a volunteer organization when you know you don't have that time to give? Are you really going to show up as your best self? No, you're not. Don't compare yourself to others. So this is a big boundary. You know, we're all unique. We all have unique gifts. If we were all the same, this would be a super boring world. You can't measure who you are and your self-worth based on what other people are doing. Everybody is at different, you know, levels on the ladder. They've been doing things differently. They have different skills. Don't ever compare yourself to anybody else, ever. And if you find yourself doing it, especially on social media, you unfollow those people. Follow the people that inspire you, not the people that make you think, oh gosh, you know, I need to redo my kitchen and make it look Instagram worthy. No, if you love your kitchen, keep it. Don't let anybody else's kitchen make you change yours. Don't let other people control your life. You know, you have a life to live and no one can live it for you. No one should prevent you from living it. You know, this is one of the most empowering beliefs that you can have, you know, and I get it. I hear from people who say, but Allie, as soon as somebody starts a sentence, but Allie, I know, here come all the thoughts. Thoughts can be changed. Okay. We think stuff, but it's really not true. So if you're saying, but Allie, I need you to really address that thought and change it. Okay. Don't let others control your life. If you want to do something for you to feel better, do it, because you will come out your best self, which benefits everybody around you. And that's the thing about self-care and well-being that a lot of people haven't recognized, is that when you take care of yourself, your best you shows up and everybody benefits. So if somebody in your life says, I'm sorry, you don't have time to take an hour to yourself to go walk in the woods and meditate, yes, I do, because I'm going to come back my best self, because right now I'm going to break something. So give me that hour and I will come back my best self. Avoiding negativity is huge, because you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with the most. So think about that. I thought about that a couple of years ago and I did not like what I saw. Not everybody is into personal development. A lot of people are happy with the status quo. If you're not, I'm not, but if you're not either, get yourself in groups where you are actually the lowest common denominator. That's what I do. I get into groups where it's like, I am the bottom of the barrel, because they raise me up. They raise me up and I become a better person, better business person. Another thing is, don't break promises to yourself. Oh my gosh, accountability is huge, because your subconscious knows if you break a promise to yourself, it knows that you can't be trusted. And then you will get into the habit of never following through on goals. And it's so easy to say, oh, I'll do that tomorrow. Oh, I'll start again next week. Oh, you know what? It's the end of the month. I'll start again the first of the month. Oh, you know, there's a holiday coming up. I'll start that new nutritional plan after the holiday. Your subconscious is recording all of that and saying, oh, you can't be trusted. You can't be trusted with goals. And so it makes it really harder to follow through. You've got to be accountable to yourself first, and then you can be accountable to other people. This is a big one. Leave work at work. Leave work at work. I really had to train myself to do this. And I really have to do it now, because my home is my office for 3 businesses. So I set hours. I don't care what the to-do list is. When I'm done, I'm done. It's like, sorry, I set work hours and I'm not budging. I'm not budging on that. So too many women are defining themselves by their work. I have been finding this recently. I've been actually seeing this for years, that we define our self-worth and who we are according to our work. And so we never leave work behind. You got to leave work behind. That is a boundary. Your boss is not paying you 24 hours a day. Even if you're salaried, they're not paying you 24 hours a day. You leave it in the office. Even if you work from home, shut the door to wherever you're working. Don't numb yourself, okay? When your boundaries have been stomped on, that's when we start to engage in numbing behavior because the stress is getting to us. So that's when we binge watch TV and we do mindless scrolling on social media, drink alcohol, eat comfort food that's not good for us. Remove those temptations, like absolutely remove them. If you've got to remove an app from your phone, take it off. If you've got to remove alcohol from your house, get it out of there. You know, my philosophy is anything in a bag, a box, or a drive-through window for comfort food, it's not good for you. You can actually retrain your body to crave healthy food. And I did this many years ago, where my nutritionist trained my body to crave greens like broccoli and Brussels sprouts. I didn't have that available to me when I was in Tucson last week. I did not have Brussels sprouts and broccoli. But when I'm at home, that's what I go to when I'm stressed. So you can do that. Get the temptations out of your house. And then just breathe deeply, engage in breath work and use your oils. So here, take another drop of whatever oil you brought to class and just smell it. Because I don't know if you're looking at all of this and thinking, wow, I am messed up. I am messed up on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm a 1,000. There are easy things that you can do. And I know this because I was there. Oh my gosh, was I there? So let's talk about lifestyle recommendations for balance. Here's the thing. You got to focus on what matters in your life. Life is short. No matter how long you live, life is short. Don't busy yourself and let it fly by. You need to decide what matters, and decide is the operative word in that sentence. You get to decide. No one is deciding for you. Society doesn't decide what's important for you. A business, a government, religion, social media, they don't get a vote in your life. You decide what's important. If you have a spouse, if you have children, have a family meeting and decide what's important. Is it important for your kids to be in 8 sports and band and take piano lessons and dance lessons? Whoa, way too much. What's important? Because when your kids are busy, you're busy. If your spouse is busy, you're busy. So don't let life happen to you. I think we just slowly grow up as adults and we just accept that, well, this is the way life is. Until I retire, I'm going to be super busy. It's what society says. If you're a working mom, you can just kiss your life goodbye until the kids are 18. If you have multiple careers, you're just going to work yourself into the ground until you die. I call BS on that. You get to decide. Focus on what matters. Okay. And, you need to have time for yourself every day, no exceptions. No exceptions. Okay. So if you have a family or a demanding job or demanding kids, and if you're not giving yourself even the smallest amount of time daily, like even 10 minutes to just quiet your mind, you're not your best for them. You're not showing up your best for them. So you can stop that cycle by giving yourself a little time. Because if you don't value yourself, nobody else will. If you feel like you're a doormat, or if you feel like you have to do everything, look to how you treat yourself. It's okay to ask for help. Would hiring a house cleaner once or twice a month actually take a huge load off of your shoulder so that you can focus on yourself and something else? Yeah, do that. Okay. Second thing, pursue your dreams. Having a dream and living your life is balance. We all need something that excites us and gets us out of bed in the morning. And if it's not your job, it's got to be something else. Okay. But you have to have time to pursue your dreams. The next is, do what you can. Drop the need to do it all. And this is coming from a recovery and control management specialist. Okay. You don't have to do it all. And I do this every day, every week, every month. I identify the 2 to 3 things that are really important. I do them well, and everything else can wait. Okay. One thing that really helps with doing what you can is chunk your time, focus on one thing at a time, which means no distractions, turn off your phone, get social media off your computer, laser focus, like what I did for this presentation. I got it done in record time, done like that, because I chunked my time. I gave myself a huge span of time and I focused. And I was diffusing the motivation oil and I had brain power oil on my head. But if I were to have been responding to my phone and, getting up and doing this and, just losing focus, it probably still wouldn't be done. When you can chunk your time and only focus on one thing, you will be so much more efficient and you will end up with more time. It's really important to also take care of your body. Getting natural sleep, your oils are going to help you with that. Getting vitamins and minerals. So vitamin B is really important for energy, all the Bs, all of them. Vitamin C is good for immune support because we burn through vitamin C when we're stressed. It literally goes in the body and right straight out. We need vitamin D3 for happiness and joy. We need magnesium to relax. We need potassium to relax. Get those in your body. We also need adaptogens like astragalus and eleuthero and rhodiola. These are 3 very powerful adaptogens that really boost your adrenals to give you good energy. Even nervines. I don't know if you've heard of nervines, Nervines. These support the nervous system. So skullcap, which is an herb, is a nervine. Chamomile, valerian, lavender, and melissa, also known as lemon balm. Whether these are herbs or essential oils, these are nervines, and they're really good to calm your nervous system. And eating small, frequent meals. If you eat like a bunch of big meals, oh, that is going to slow you down. That's going to slow you down and put you off balance. So small, frequent meals work better. Cutting out caffeine, white sugar, alcohol, food that doesn't agree with you, cut those out. But also taking care of your emotions and your mental state with a morning routine is so important. I preach this in a couple of my membership groups. A morning routine is so important because it really sets your energy for the day. If you wake up frantic, you're going to have a frantic day. But if you wake up and you can meditate or do affirmations or visualize or do even just 5 or 10 minutes of movement or exercise, it could be yoga or stretching, or you journal, that is going to set the tone for your day. You have an opportunity every morning to set the tone for your day, but most people don't. They let the day set the tone for them. So, and again, with this, I hear, but Allie, ... I have responsibilities. Okay, here's the thing. No one's saying ignore your responsibilities. It's just be a better steward of your energy and your time. But you're not going to be able to fulfill your responsibilities if you're run down, if you're sick, or if you're suffering from something catastrophic. stress can kill. Okay. And we all think we're immune from it, but we're not. It is slowly destroying the body from the inside out. And when we completely neglect even one part of our life, it will crash, and then you're really going to get stressed. And that tire is going to completely deflate. So little things that you can do every day, little things can really help. And also taking care of your spiritual self, connecting with nature. Use your oils, use your crystals. Here's the thing. Oils and crystals are the two easiest things that you can do every day. You can wear crystals in a necklace, where'd my bracelets go? I took them off. You can wear bracelets. You can put crystals in your pocket. You can just have them in your environment. Put your oils on. Literally takes a minute. Those are the easiest things that you can do physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually for yourself. Do you need more time for prayer, for reading? It's all about finding faith over fear and believing that you can have your life and have balance, and not buying in to what society has created that says you don't get to have a life because you are fill in the category of whatever you've been labeled. Again, I call BS on that. You get to decide. You get to decide. And smell those calming oils. All right, let's talk some supplements. We're going to talk supplements, oils, and crystals, and be done. And, okay, I'm kind of doing okay on time. All right, so let's talk physically first. A good first step is to start taking Endogize or Endoflex, one or the other. For men, it's Powergize. For women, Endoflex or Endogize, because this is going to give you a physical boost so that you can honestly look at this topic and decide what matters. Because if you're completely physically exhausted, you're not going to be able to do anything. You're going to say, I don't even have the bandwidth to look at this. Okay. Endogize is for your adrenals, where your fight, flight, or freeze originates. It's for the entire endocrine system. So if you're exhausted, you're not balanced, this is going to help. And herbals are naturally balanced and don't actually push your body system past normal balance. So don't worry about getting, overly stimulated one way or another. So here's an interesting thing. So if you know who Marcella von Harding is, she's probably the first person ever enrolled in Young Living. Seriously, Mary Young enrolled her. Marcella taught me that when Gary Young formulated supplements, he used a lot of different strategies. And for some supplements like Endogize, they are meant to give large doses of herbs, natural hormones, or minerals, and to be used for a short period of time, and then you stop. These are not lifetime. Use it and stop. Go on it for 4 weeks, stop for 2 weeks, and then monitor your body. Okay. And he designed Endogize to do what it takes to wake the body up and get it to respond. And then you need to actually monitor how you feel and just not blindly take supplements without an end. So Endogize has powerful adaptogens and herbs and oils in it. It's got a big dose of vitamin B6 and zinc in it. Don't use it if you're pregnant, but the equivalent, if you don't like taking a capsule, is Endoflex, which has good oils for the thyroid. It has myrtle. It's got nutmeg for the adrenals. It has geranium that clears hormones out of the liver. So one of those will do you well. But even Powergize, this was created for men, but women can take this, especially if you need greater physical vitality, because this gives you greater physical energy. It boosts stamina. It gives you, sustainable energy levels and strength and vitality. It helps with healthy muscles and even muscle strength. And it gives you energy, but a calm energy, not a frantic, caffeinated energy. It's a very calm energy to relax the body and mind. But the ingredients, again, there's adaptogens, there's herbs, and there's oils in this that help promote mental clarity, concentration, and alertness, which struggles when you are not balanced. And it just helps you have a healthy response to everyday stress and overwork and fatigue. Okay, this is a really, really good one. So Powergize is more physical, Endogize is more overall for women. All right, now for oils, I am a big fan of Gary's Great Day Protocol. And if you have not used it before, seriously, you can, I mean, you'll see it in this presentation, but you can just Google Gary Young's Great Day Protocol. It's all over the internet. It's 4 oils: Valor, Harmony, Joy, and White Angelica. Because Valor is the oil of confidence and courage. And when we have fearful thoughts, that is a stress response. When we don't have courage and confidence, that is a stress response. And it's coming from lack of balance and lack of boundaries. And so this really helps release those old patterns so that you can actually decide these things matter and this over here does not. And it helps you align with that and release what doesn't matter. Harmony, it's got 17 oils in it. That really brings all of your energy centers in your body into balance. It's calming. It's really beneficial at the end of the workday because it just helps you let go. It's harmony. It harmonizes everything. Joy is full of floral oils that just brings love and joy to your heart. And it helps move out emotions that may have been dumped on you by other people's negativity during the day. So, when we work on processing the day, which is what we do at night, this puts you in a good mood. In the morning, if you use this, it puts you in a good energy so that good things actually come to you. And then White Angelica, this has 10 oils in it, very, very high vibrational oils like rose and melissa. This is, to me, an angelic protection oil. It's like the oil of Archangel Michael. And it strengthens your spiritual aura. It helps you with good, healthy boundaries. If you are an empath, this is your #1 oil. Okay, it helps you not take on the energy of others. And so it's a really good oil to use, if you don't feel safe around certain people or in certain situations, whether it's air travel or there's like bullies in the workplace. This protects you from negative energy or just simply too much energy. So it's really amazing with animals, but it actually opens up and balances the root chakra. So those 4 oils every day will change your life. Absolutely change your life. Okay. I'd love to see in the chat if anybody does this protocol every day. I realize Young Living has 200 oils. There's a lot of protocols out there. This is a foundational one that Gary put his name on. All right, I wanted to add 3 other oils that I love for balance and boundaries. Sacred Mountain, because if you ever get into information overload, if you ever feel defeated, if you ever start saying the word busy, I'm so busy. If you're struggling to figure out what matters, and if you really get thrown out of balance by other people's energies and other people's expectations, it puts you in an energy loop. And you will end up drawing more of that energy to you, and you just can't get out of it. It's like you're just cycling in it. And then you feel more overwhelmed, more exhausted, more fatigued, more drained, numb. This is where Sacred Mountain comes in because it grounds you. It like stops it. It's like, boom, done. We're done with that energy. It re-energizes you while calming you down. And it's protective from all the chaos around you. So you feel stronger, more confident, more centered. Hope helps you really step into an empowered heart to realize You get to make decisions about your life, even if there are other people in your life. You are not powerless. Because when you have hope, you actually are in an energy of strength, not an energy of fear. So this is a really, really good one. Like, put it over your heart and wear it. And then the sensation oil. Okay, very few people are talking about sensation in this way, but this is what I love the sensation oil for. It's when you are in that numbness. You know, you're coming home from work at the end of the day and you're just mindlessly scrolling social media. And you're playing television in the background while you're drinking a glass of wine. Sensation releases that numbness, and it fills the space where the numbness was with happiness and joy and passion for life, passion for your goals and your dreams. That is an awesome, awesome oil. All right, now let's talk crystals. All right, I got 6. It's really hard for me to narrow this down, but I got 6 that are really basic foundational crystals. None of the weird stuff. I mean, some of you know I get into the really rare and unique crystals. These are your basics. Okay, I'm keeping it simple, because grounding crystals help us to balance. And all you have to do is hold a crystal when you need to set a boundary, when you need to have time for yourself, when you want to relax, when you need guidance and clarity on what to do. Hold the crystal. You can wear it. You can put it in your pocket, put it underneath your pillow. I recommend black tourmaline, because black tourmaline is all about drawing a line in the sand for boundaries. It gives you strength and it is very grounding. Clear quartz balances the entire body. Its only job is to get chi moving in the body. Hematite is really good for emotional boundaries and it's grounding. Kyanite is good for relationship boundaries, and it's a crystal used for quantum healing, for total balance of all your energy fields. It's an amazing crystal. Lepidolite is really good for depression and that numbness and apathy when you feel like, well, I don't really get to decide what I want in my life. Yeah, work with lepidolite, because that's depression talking. And it helps to balance the heart and the mind so that you can make really good heartfelt decisions. And then smoky quartz is all about boundaries and protection. All right, I got a couple of book recommendations. If you like reading books, I love Cheryl Richardson so much. I love her. I love her cats. This book called Waking Up in Winter, it's the perfect season to read it. And I mean, look at that, In Search of What Really Matters at Midlife. Even if you're not midlife, read this book. Don't get to where most people get at midlife, where they're like, what have I done? What have I done with my life? Okay, it's an amazing book about setting boundaries to live the life that you want. In the middle are the Cultivate What Matter planners. I use these. I love these. You will work through these planners. This is not like a day planner where you just keep track of your to-do list. This actually takes you through exercises where you finally figure out what really matters, so that then you know what to give your time to. Love it, love it, love it. I don't even know if they're sold out. They usually sell out before the beginning of the year, but I know that they have downloadable pages. So definitely check out cultivatewhatmatters.com. I swear by their system. It's amazing. And then I'm going to email you. I love the Calm app, and they have these masterclass workbooks. So I'm sharing all of those with you. And this month you're going to get the Discover Happiness workbook. It's a really simple workbook, and gift yourself the time to work through this workbook. It's really fun and it's eye-opening. And this is a really great quote. Whatever is going to give you more time, more space, more freedom to find your center, say yes, please, to that. Say yes to that, and say no to everything else that is negative and toxic and drags you down and sends you to a glass of wine and a bag of organic cheese popcorn and Netflix every night. Say no to all of that, but yes to everything that's good. All right, if anybody has not taken my crystal classes and you are intrigued, registration is getting ready to close, okay? Because they start pretty soon. I think registration closes on Thursday for the basic class. So I still have room in all of these, and the advanced class, you just have to take the basic or the animal class, and then you're eligible for the advanced class. I teach these classes only 3 times a year. So if you're interested, definitely get in, and then you get an invitation to my crystal membership group called the Crystal Cluster. And that's a fun group. And there's a lot, we're all oilers in that group. I seem to be the crystal educator for the essential oil world. So I love that. I love that. What a great job to have. And then if you are struggling with, well, I didn't really set goals because I didn't think I could. My visioning class for 2022 is on demand. You can get the workbook. I can't even remember how big the workbook is, 20 pages, 25 pages. You can watch the 3-hour class, you can work through it, and it will help you set goals that you can achieve. And it walks you through my system. It's how I have balance. It's how I set boundaries. And it's how I'm able to have 3 businesses and still have a life. Because if you follow me on social media, you probably see me at Lake Michigan all the time. Because I do that. That's part of my balance. All right. And if you're not in Young Living, whoever invited you to watch this, get with them so that they can help you get your oils. If you liked all those oils I talked about, get with whoever invited you and they'll show you how to get them. If I invited you and you're not already in my team, I'd love to have you, because we are a scratch and sniff community. We love our oils. And then that's the way that we can stay connected. So I am going to go ahead and I'm going to stop the recording and thank everybody who's listening to the recording. And then I'm going to take some questions here for the live group. So thanks for joining in.